Fairly sure it's the 1st of September today, and as you can hear from the rain, you might just be able to catch that on camera, raining. So quite glad it's getting cooler again because I am sick of the heat. It's getting hotter and hotter every year because of global warming that some people think doesn't exist, but it does exist. Anyway, this video we're going to be doing just some, I don't know what I'm going to title it, miscellaneous tasks around the house, miscellaneous home improvements, just some little, what do they like to call them, quality of life updates. If my life was a video game, but it's not. Shelves. I'm fairly sure these are identical to those shelves up there, which has all my little yellow items on, because I'm recollecting. So back when I was like 16, I'd like to say, the camera's really high, but I am leaning on my box. When I was like 16, I collected these little amiibos, which are like Nintendo figurines, but like you can scan them on like Nintendo devices like the Switch, the 3DS and all them, and like it gives you in-game characters or whatever. And I had all the Animal Crossing ones, and I had like all the collector's books, the little cards and everything, and I sold them actually. At the time, I needed the money. I think it was literally just before I was moving out. I was probably maybe about 22, 21, and I sold them. Could have been before that actually. My past is a bit of a haze to me. And I sold them, and I really regret selling them. I'm not able to get the collector's books back with all the cards, like the collector's cards, because they go for hundreds now because the 3DS and all subsequent things related to that were discontinued. But I'm able to pick up the amiibos for quite cheap online, like secondhand, making sure they're like still in excellent condition. And I want, so this corner over here, this is where they're going. Those two pictures, can I point to those two frames? I've had them since I moved. I got them before I moved in. And the top one says, "It took me a while to be where I am now. I learned how to fight back. I don't even want to know how." And they're lyrics from an artist I like called Flower Kid, is it? Yep. And then the one underneath that says, "I still remember the days I prayed for the things I have now," which I like reading. Because when I'm feeling like I haven't made any progress, I think, to where I was X amount of years ago, X amount of months ago even, and so we're taking those frames down, moving them into my hallway maybe. I'm not really too sure where, but we'll see when I actually make the whole time lapse. And the frames are going there because this corner is it's got like a lot of like pastel-y colours on. I've got my bag up there, my Animal Crossing bag lives up there as well. And so I just think it's a good corner to put the shelves on. Just don't know where I'm going to put the frames. So that's where they're going. And then behind me, can we see this box here? Not them. They're I know that's artwork I'm working on, but this big box here is a massive frame because I was cleaning my house the other day, right? And I noticed I'd knocked that picture, the big picture on the wall. Can we see how it's curling? Yes, because when I stuck that up on the wall 3 years ago almost, oh god, that time's gone so quickly. I stuck it on with electrical tape because I didn't have the means of buying a frame that big. I didn't know where I was going to get a frame from that big. I don't even think I really used Amazon at the time either. And so I finally found a frame. So I measured it, but I didn't use a tape measure to measure the picture. I used the Measure app on my phone, and I kind of went from corner to corner and then corner to corner. And it said it was like about 90 by about 60. So they actually do make frames. This wasn't a custom made picture. This was like a poster sized picture. So I was like, they've got to have set frames because this was a set size, you know what I mean? It's not like my artwork where I cut the cardboard to a very weird size and then I've got to get a custom frame for that. But this was actually like a set print size. So they've got to have a set frame size. So I scoured Amazon and they have a 61 by 91.5. And I was like, hopefully that's the right size. From looking at it, it looks like it's the right size. So we're going to be putting that on the wall. Can't do that or the shelves until tomorrow though, tomorrow night, because I haven't got any, I rent, so I haven't got any no more nails tape to stick them on the walls with. I'm probably going to need 2 rolls because that's heavy, This, if it's the same as them, they're on the wall with no more nails tape and they've never fallen down. So I'm probably going to get 2 rolls. I get these specific frames because they've got like little, can we see how they go down a bit, or you can put them the other way and put them up a bit. I'm going to put them down on these ones as well. And it just helps them be more, they have more surface for them to stick on. What else are we doing in this video? We'll make it, I've got a box, I don't have it with me, but a cardboard box, just a shoe box size box. It's not a shoe box, but I forgot what came in it now. What came in it? I bought you clothes or something in a box. It came in a box. And I was like, oh my god, this box is going to be perfect. So hopefully I've got enough. I hope the video's out by the time that this one's out. I made a video covering these 2 little boxes in these little circles. And the circles came from toilet roll paper. So I get my toilet roll from a company that delivers them in a box. It's all completely plastic free. And each individual toilet roll is wrapped in like tissue paper, and it's got like patterns on. My kitchen roll is exactly the same, like your longer rolls you put in your kitchen, so it's a lot stronger, it wipes up spills and stuff. And that is actually still wrapped up in my bathroom, but I'm going to unroll them because they're in the bathroom. They're not going to get dirty. They're in a cupboard, you know what I mean? And so if I need more circles, I can use them. But I've got loads and loads of these circles left over, right? And so I'm thinking that combined with the ones I'm going to make out of the kitchen roll, I'm going to cover this box in it, cut the flaps off the box, and I'm going to use it for like, I'm starting this course, if you will, in September time, 1 day a week. And I'm going to put all my books and stuff there. I've also joined a choir. Yeah, that's a new thing. And like a theatre group. They're all to do with like supporting people with mental health difficulties. It's nothing like formal or anything like that. It's simply just for people who really struggle with like mainstream clubs or mainstream schooling or mainstream anything that can't. My mum comes with me. She's allowed to sit there with me the whole time. She does not leave my side. And one day I will want to be able to do it by myself. Like I can do certain things by myself, but then when it comes to something like this where I've got to interact with people, I'm really struggling. And so I need somewhere to put like choir lyrics and notebooks and things there, because I've got like they've given me like a plastic wallet thing and it's not fitting in my shelves. And so I want to make like a little box for it all so I can carry it around the house with me. I've got to learn 7 songs. Like as of recording this, it's the first of, I'm going to be on ITV, like my choir is going to be on ITV on the 3rd. And I started last week, right? And they just gave me all these lyrics and they were just like, learn them. We're going to be on the news. So good job. Like there's 7 songs. I know off by heart 3 of them already, because it's like I'm leaving on a jet plane. I know that one. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, is it? No. But we'll see who actually watches my videos out of my friends, actually, because they're always questioning me about where I'm going, and I'm a private person. I keep myself to myself. So we'll see who watches these videos, actually, because then they'll know where I go, won't they? They'll know where I go. Anyway, I'm going to be off. What else? There was all like, so this one's actually probably better to, so see all the leaves around my frames. I've got them on those frames, the mirror, these frames. I've got them on some in the living room as well. And obviously when I move those 2 frames, where the shelves are going to go, the vines are going to move with them. I stuck them on again with black electrical tape. I've always had black electrical tape in my house. It's just quite handy to have, actually. I used to like tape my wires together and then put them on like a white thing so you couldn't actually see them. I did do the same there, but then I had to move it because of my switch. I've got 2 paint things there. I'm currently working on another art project, but ignore that they're there. And I don't like them being like sticky on, because like the tape is peeling off. And what I do have is these little clips that are meant to go up when you put fairy lights up, and they're tiny little see-through clips. And so we're going to swap the black electrical tape for these little clips. I just think it'll be cleaner, it'll be easy to take the vines off and on, to be able to like wash them down or take them off so you can like wash the top of the mirror and stuff like that. So that's the plan. I think that's all we're doing in this little quality of life update video. Yeah, might keep that cardboard actually. We'll be able to make some good artwork out of that cardboard. I was running low on cardboard actually. Don't know what artwork because I have run out of all my ideas, but that's the thing with ideas. Sometimes they just pop into your head, don't they? So can't do much until tomorrow, but we're going to unbox things at least today so I can actually take all the tape off the cardboard and put what cardboard what in recycling, whatever. So yeah, hope you enjoy, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the video. Wrong angle. Before I start, if you hear any banging, I think the contractors are in next door because my neighbour, called Jamie, moved out a couple of months ago and it's been empty ever since, and now there's suspicious banging. Hopefully the camera doesn't pick that up, but there is banging going on that way next door. Usually it's that side because, I don't know, she does this weird, I'm fairly sure it's an exercise regime, and she's banging against all the walls all the time at a very specific time of the day. Anyway, it's coming from that side this time. So also my hair is wet, not greasy. I've had a shower, and so yeah, I've finished all my little projects, I think. So the main one was it's probably the most one that looks unchanged, the one that looks most unchanged. That's the way it's worded, Alex. And I put it was the shelves in this video as well. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So I put shelves up over here. That's why I'm filming in the bedroom, because you get to see all my things. So I put shelves up here, started my collection of little Animal Crossing amiibos. My Happy Sad bag, I got that the other day. And so I moved my other frames in the hallway, but the lights aren't on in the hallway and I can't be bothered showing people. But yeah, that was to put shelves up there, which was a while ago now, about a week or so ago. But because the main thing that's been taking up my time is this box. Didn't do the bottom of it because the only circles I kind of had left were like green ones, and because I have far too many green ones, because the blue ones and the pink ones and the very light green ones, like the ones with the squiggles on, they were from wrapping paper off like toilet paper that I had cut into circles for little boxes I made in a previous video a while ago, and had some of those left over, but I knew I wasn't going to have enough to cover this box, which I want for things like this. So this is my choir folder that I designed, and it's got choir backwards for you down the spine, and it's got all my choir lyrics in it. And so it's just for things like this, and like my drawing book and my art book and all that sort of stuff. And it's just kind of gonna sit in there and go on a shelf somewhere, just so they've got a home really. But I didn't do the bottom of it, which is fine because no one's gonna see the bottom. I might do it with the rest of them just to use them up, so I'm not throwing them away, but I was like, it's not important, so it's not going to get done right now. And then also the vines. So the vines were stuck on with black electrical tape, and you could probably see from some of the clips before I took the black electrical tape off that it was they were peeling and it just didn't look nice. It didn't look very uniform. But now when I'm looking at them, the main ones are like these 3 here. But I had to keep going back to the shop to get little clips. I spent far too much money on little clips because it's 13 per one I used, so I needed in total. I had about a pack already. Then I bought 3 more, and then I bought 2 more. And so about 6 or 7 boxes of clips I needed to clip all the way around the edges. So the main aim for doing this is, so when I'm cleaning and dusting, I can now, it won't be very often, but I can now, clip them off and then just clip them back on and not have to waste tape. I'm trying to use less waste. Is that how it's worded? And I've got a few left over. I've got about 20 left over. So they're just going to go. I've got a box of unused clips which lives in my bathroom because it's the only big storage cupboard I have. But that was pretty much all my projects done. Oh, I forgot the frame. So, excuse my bed, but that is now in a frame. And for the first 2 or 3 nights, because that was also stuck up with also with black electrical tape, because when I first put it up, I was like, I don't have a frame for it. Then I tried to buy a frame for it, but all the frames I was buying were like from actual like in-person shops, and they were very, very cheap. They were like made for posters, and they didn't have enough of a bezel on the inside for me to stick No More Nails tape on the inside of it, like on the back side of it, for it to stick up on the wall properly. And obviously it's heavy and my bed is above it. I don't think my bed was above it back then though, but right now I needed something because my literal head is right below it. And for the first 2 nights, so I used a whole roll of No More Nails tape, which I got ID'd for in the range. I never been ID'd for it before in my life. I've bought it before multiple times, never been ID'd for it, but apparently you need ID for it now. And luckily I have my lanyard on with my little card which does have my date of birth on it. Luckily. So I got 3 rolls of that. 1 roll was literally just dedicated towards that, and for the first 2 nights I slept back to front on my bed, so my head was literally here and my feet were down the end because I told ChatGPT, right, and ChatGPT said, oh, that's going to fall off. That's going to fall off. And the last thing I wanted was this big heavy frame falling onto my head. It would have probably gouged my eye out or something, or at least woke me up with a bit of a fright. And so for the first 2 nights I did sleep with very, very fearfully with my head at the foot of my bed and my feet where my pillows are. But I moved my pillows, obviously. Then after like the 3rd night, I was like, it's not going to fall off. I do give it a bit of a wiggle every night just to make sure that it's still stuck on. But no, I'm not scared of sleeping below it anymore. It's those nights though where it will fall off. I don't have any wood to touch wood. So I've got my drawers there, touch wood. I was hoping that my lift was going to be fixed. The lift has been broken pretty much for the majority of the year, actually. I think it's worked for, it's easy to talk about how long it's worked for than how long it hasn't worked for at this point, because it's been off the whole year, bar like 1 or 2 weeks where it worked. We've got not young kids like young kids, but like kids, like 19-year-olds, and they live together somewhere on my floor. And they think it's really hilarious that they're jumping in the lift and breaking it. And I don't know why they're not being kicked out. I don't know what you'd have to do, realistically, to get kicked out of this place, because I've had issues, not with myself, obviously, but with my neighbour. You can do literally anything and everything and not be kicked out. So, I mean, it's great for people who do bad things and they know they won't get kicked out, but for the likes of people like us who live, like I live with somebody, or like I'm friends with any of my neighbours really, but for the likes of me who just wants a quiet life and just lives how I'm meant to live, it's quite irritating to have, this is why we can't have good things sort of attitude people. And I just want a lift to work, because I really, I know I'm maybe 26 and people do laugh at me, but I do struggle with my joints a lot. And it makes me kind of not want to go outside because I've got to walk up like 80 stairs to get back home. And shopping is an absolute nightmare, just because, you know, people, like, everyone's like, oh, it's a luxury to have a lift. Yeah, but that's, if there was no lift, I wouldn't have moved here. You know, I moved here because there was a lift. Elevator for people not in the UK, or I think, is it just Americans that call them elevators? Not too sure, never been to America. But yeah, proud of my little box. It's still kind of wet, like, because it's like a sort of paper mache sort of thing, because you're putting glue on top of glue on top of glue. It's still kind of wet, but when it isn't wet, it does harden up a bit. I did most of the inside yesterday. You can't really see, it's quite dark. But I may do the bottom because it's not perfect, is it? Because it's not done, so I may do the bottom of it at a point where I have more time, because I'm going out soon to a drama club. A drama club, like, it's just a random thing that I've been going out for a couple of weeks. I'm not playing a part or anything because I started too late, but I'm just getting the feel for the place for the next 6 months, and then we'll be starting a new production then. But I'm obviously quite artistic, so I'll be helping with props and stuff. I'm quite happy to be doing that, and I'm more of a backstage sort of person anyway. I'm not really one for the limelight, but it's helping my confidence, and it was recommended by a doctor, so doing what I can to help my anxiety, because it is on my New Year's resolution list, is to do whatever I can to help me help myself more than anything, along with my anxiety and stuff. And my goal for the end of this year was, on my New Year's resolution list, is the only thing I want to do is to not use a self-serve checkout when I'm buying something. And I do that quite a lot already, and I completely forgot that was even just, when I wrote that New Year's resolution list, I wrote it on the last day of December last year, 2024. I was in such a bad place mentally, and I was in January, and I was in February, and I definitely was in March, where I had a mental breakdown and I can't remember March really at all. And after that, I've obviously been getting help, and I've been getting medicated, and when I'm on the bus and I'm posting stuff at like the InPost lockers, it's attached to a Londis, which is like a corner shop, and sometimes I just go in there and buy a drink, and there's no self-checkout there. It's all like, and I'm perfectly fine to do that now. Still struggle with near enough everything else. It's only because I go to that one shop all the time, and the people know me there now, and they know I'm just really quiet and shy, that they're chill with me now, that I'm able to do it. But I completely forgot that was on my that was the only task I wanted to do this year, was to be able to go to a shop and pay for something with an actual cashier. And I was like, wow, I've actually done it, and I didn't even make a big song and dance about it, just because I forgot about half the stuff on that list. That's probably the only thing I've been ticking off this list, but it's been a really bad year. It's been a really, really bad year. I've lost literally nearly, other than my parents, everybody close to me. And it hurt. Everything hurts. It's life. It really is life. It happens. Obviously I'm sad and grieving relationships, friendships, and family relationship, you know, everyone that I lose. But I'm powering through. One of the things on my New Year's resolution list was to write 50,000 words. I'm up to about 20,000 already from the end of last year, but I need to write another 30,000, which is not going to happen. We're already in September. That's what I'm trying to get. I keep saying this, I'm trying to get videos made so I actually have time to write, but then I just keep finding ideas for videos, and I keep making videos, and my videos aren't really things that you can do in like half an hour. They take days, so it kind of cancels itself out, so I just find myself always recording videos. But I do want to get back into writing more, not only my book but my website as well. I don't know, the lighting's really bad in this room, isn't it? Really bad. This is with all the spotlights on, like all the lights are on. I don't know why usually when I've got the skylight open, I've got good lighting in here, but it's raining, so I can't open the skylight. Why you would put a skylight in a British home, I have no idea. But hey ho, that's my building management for you. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video.